The Tastemaster is proudly brought to you by Stella Artois. Make occasions more special. Start with a Stella.
Last week, we welcomed our 8 contestants into the studio for the first time to get a glimpse of what life on Afternoon Express will be like for the winner. Each contestant was challenged to create an Instagrammable dish that had 2 key ingredients. 1, a meal that identified their unique personality as a tastemaster. And 2, a dish that promoted Tastemaster SA on Instagram. But after the food was served, we found out how not even a trained chef like Chaba's sweet genius Mokake is safe in this competition. With 7 contestants left at the table, who will be the next to leave? To find out, we're headed for Boschendal Wine Estate, home of centuries-old winemaking and sustainable farming. That's right now on the Tastemaster.
I've never been to the Boschendal farms before. I finally have ticked off one of my bucket list items. This is so exciting for me. I'm so excited.
I've been to Boschendal once before and I'm still mesmerized at how beautiful this place is. Gosh.
I woke up and I see these baskets and I'm wondering, okay, what are we doing today?
Contestants, welcome to beautiful Franschhoek, the stunning location for this week's Tastemaster Challenge. I'm sure you're all eager to hear what's in store for you, so without further ado, Zola, Greg.
Contestants, although you had a fine first week, the easy part is now over. From now on, you will be judged on raw potential, and only those with the instincts for perfect ingredients will survive the next challenge.
One of the attributes that a tastemaster has to possess is the ability to source local, fresh ingredients from sustainable sources. Not only will it make your dishes more nutritious, but it's also the secret to obtaining restaurant quality taste.
Being a city boy, I've never actually imagined having to pick your own fresh groceries. Imagine that.
For your second challenge, you are based here at Boschendal Estate, where this magnificent farm full of fresh ingredients is tended by a resident hive of Cape honeybees. Not only are they key to the ecosystem of the farm, they're also key to your next dish.
And on the farm, you will meet the beekeeper and Christian from the VAF. Your challenge will be to create a sustainably sourced dish using honey from the farm.
What?
I do not have a heavy sweet tooth. This is gonna be a challenge for me.
How do I make honey the hero ingredient?
Please grab a basket and get foraging.
I've never harvested my own ingredients, so I'm super excited to do this. I think it's really nice to actually see where your ingredients come from.
70 of the top 100 human food crops are pollinated by bees.
As we're walking down this row of pear trees, I see this guy dressed in a NASA suit almost. It's the beekeeper. It's pretty cool. Reminds me of my grandfather back in the farm in Portugal.
So I see the beekeeper and he's wearing this whole outfit and I'm like, okay, where's our outfit, you know? Where the bees at?
Just ask Gerard Freiter.
So I'm the beekeeper here at Boschendal. And yeah, the rough sort of rule of honey is that it is the reward the bee gets for the act of pollination. So male and female plants can't join each other. They're pretty stationary. So they need an insect of some sort to come and do the pollination story, to take the male part to the female part. And in lieu of this, the plant gives the bee a nectar.
This is so interesting. I've never heard any of this before.
And the bee then puts the nectar in its honey stomach and then adds enzymes and acids and all sorts of goodies to it, and then regurgitates it and puts it in the comb, and then they ripen it, and the ultimate goal is then honey, which we then get.
Wow.
So you guys want to come and look at it?
As I see this honeycomb, I'm like, wow, it is so amazing. I've never seen anything like that in my life.
Gerard hands us these slates with the honeycombs and the actual fresh honey. And when I taste it, it tastes so different, so subtle, but yet so fresh.
As the beekeeper takes out the honey, I'm taken back to my childhood memory of me and my brother stealing honey from the bees' hives, and I know already that I am leading this competition because I know that it tastes amazing and how to get that wax layer off.
So, are there any questions?
Well, actually, I just wanted to know, are there any particular plants or herbs on the actual farm that have been pollinated by bees?
Yeah, there are a lot of plants on this farm that are pollinated by bees, and of course the vegetable garden. So if you want to have seeds to replant the next crop, then you need obviously the pollination thing to happen to harvest the seeds.
The most important part that I'm learning about bees is that they're such an important part in the ecosystem, so it's been quite insightful.
I'm actually looking at this and wondering, there's a silky layer here. What is it? Can you explain to us?
That's a layer of beeswax that the bees seal their honeycomb with. So when their honey is ripe, they then produce the wax from the glands underneath their abdomen and actually build it shut at the top to seal it.
I never knew that. That's absolutely new.
Yeah. Very cool. It's something that I've learned. So yeah, I'll definitely take that one with me. Well done, Gerard.
Making the most of these locally sourced, seasonal and sustainable ingredients is the mission of Chef Christian Campbell.
I can't take my eyes off this garden. It's so beautiful. I feel like I'm in the Garden of Eden, actually.
Contestants, it's time to get to work. Please help me welcome advocate of sustainability and chef at the Verf restaurant in Boschendal, Christian Campbell. He will be today's guest judge and mentor on your journey as you create a honey-infused masterpiece. Chef lives to share his approach to cooking.
My food philosophy started many years ago. Very sensitive to the way animals are treated on this planet. I'm very sensitive to what's happening around me within nature. And I've formed a whole food philosophy around our broken food chain and really feel that through my role in terms of sourcing ethical produce, I can make a big difference in repairing our broken food chain. What qualities should a taste master have? I think you need to use all your senses. I mean, that goes without saying. I mean, you can hear how something is cooking, your sense of smell, your gut feel, touch. All these qualities have a big role to play in producing the most excellent dish. I think just being open, not getting stuck in one single mindset. I walk into this garden and I just find it stimulating. I find it more stimulating than looking through a cookery book. You just walk through the veggie garden, there's just dishes shouting out at you. Contestants, welcome to Boschendal. Established in 1685, making this farm one of the oldest farms in the Western Cape. We're well known for our wines, which I'm sure you're all familiar with, but we're also well known for our vegetable garden. The vegetable garden was established really to supply our own food into our restaurants.
This is a very old estate. However, they are at the forefront of sustainability. And Chef Christian is very passionate about what he's doing.
Contestants, today you're going to be judged on presentation, creativity, and taste. Performing well in each category will earn you a star.
Remember that the honeybee is the hero of today's dish. You could choose to create either a starter, main, or a dessert, and your narrative should tell the story of sustainability, as that is the theme of today's occasion.
My strengths are presentation and taste. One thing that's throwing me off is sustainability.
Contestants, let's get busy.
As soon as Chef Christian said we can go, I was off straight into the garden and looking for some inspiration.
Chef Christian's told us to go wild in the garden, and that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Coming up, a trip to the farm sparks the contestants' imagination and sows the seeds of trouble. Having had their pick of a 9-hectare vegetable garden, it was now time to move from farm to fork.
They've asked us to use honey as a hero ingredient, but they've also given us a twist by being sustainable with using all the stuff in the garden.
Walking around in the garden, seeing the herbs and certain plants, I'm slowly starting to piece together what I'm going to make today.
These pulps are going to be really nice for my carrot pickle, which is going to add a bit of crunch and acidity to my dish.
So the theme is harvest, and my narrative is inspired by the fresh produce in this amazing farm. I love it.
I'm starting to think, okay, cool, this is awesome. My dish is taking shape in my head. And then I see, boom, that's a silver beet.
I've used them once in my life in a very cool place in Christchurch.
Snip, snip, snip. These are awesome. You put them in a blender, blend them with a little bit of olive oil, garlic. Happy days. You got a beautiful green spinach.
And then we've got these beans.
I see broad beans. I open them up and I taste one.
I mean, they're looking great. They've got good size to them.
All I'm thinking is bean puree, perfect.
And they're a real expression of spring. So we're heading into summer soon, but I think there's about another 2 weeks of these guys left to harvest.
Chef Christian is quite a well-informed chef. Going through the garden, he actually gives us ideas on how to incorporate all these ingredients into whatever dishes we choose to make. I've decided to go with the tabbouleh salad, and right now I've already picked my lemon leaves because I'm deciding to make a lemon, honey and lavender dressing that's going to go with my tabbouleh salad. I just need to decide on the other veg that I'm going to add.
For the first time, I got a couple of tips from the chef.
It's incredible how he can go into so much detail with all the plants and all the veggies that we are basically open to picking today.
I am trying out playing with some fennel and some poppy, and I'm really looking forward to trying them out.
We're busy trying to find all the ingredients to our dishes, right? And as we're walking there, we've decided to go get some eggs. And we actually got a lift from the farmer. His name is Jason, by the way. Thank you, Jason.
Yeah, but you must break it in your mouth. It's creamy and it tastes like vanilla.
One thing I know I still need is some fresh eggs.
So how's about I merge the garden and the chicken coop and poach my eggs in some honey?
That's yum.
I'm walking in the garden and I'm seeing some spring onions and I'm seeing fresh parsley, Italian parsley that is.
At the moment I'm thinking of a trio of canapes, and this would be perfect for my prawn dish. It's a honey brined prawn which will be on a bruschetta with some flat leaf parsley on top.
So I cornered Chef Christian for 5 minutes to teach me about the artichokes, because I usually buy them out of a can or out of a bottle.
So how do I actually use them? Explain me exactly what I should do.
I think when you're cleaning them, you can already see it discoloring and it's reacting to metal as well.
And the cool thing is I actually learned in 5 minutes how to actually work with them, which no other chef that I've worked with in my entire career has had the time to teach me.
Okay. Trim up the edges, peel off the stem nicely, scoop out the fibers that are inside, and then cook it in acidified water, lots of salt, maybe 10 minutes, just depending on the texture you want.
So I'm definitely thinking I'm going to use these artichokes in my dish. I've only got 2, so I'll see where I put them. Happy days.
How amazing is it that you have so many different varieties of herbs and plants and vegetables and so much more. Amazing.
Woolworths itself was the next test to see if the contestants would look beyond the convenience we take for granted and keep choices seasonal and sustainable.
We get to Woolies and I see these beautiful big chilies.
Something nice and spicy to offset the sweetness.
This inspires my dish and I'm sure that it can give it a kick.
Oh, rainbow trout, my favorite. I really want to use this delicious rainbow trout because it's local to the area.
As for the nectarines, these are just in season. Christian's message was resonating.
Being able to actually get all of this fresh produce today was amazing, but there's one ingredient left that I didn't get, and guess what? It's a lemon. Lemons, thank goodness. So today's been quite stressful because we've a lot of tight competition and I need to make sure that all of the elements on my plate is going to be amazing.
All of Boschendal's meat is naturally raised and Masego had an ideal cut in mind.
Okay.
Very well yourself, thank you.
They're out of beef fillet. Okay, let me maybe ask the butcher. Hopefully he'll be able to advise me on what's best to go. I'll just try and explain my dish to him and hopefully he'll help me. Do you have any suggestions for me?
I can definitely recommend our beef sirloin. It's beef from our farm, grass-fed beef.
He's saying maybe a sirloin. Sirloin is really heavy on texture. That could be a bit of a play.
So you can see that beautiful fat there, the marbling. It's really fantastic. It's a nice piece of meat. Super.
I mean, I'll be careful. So hopefully this will be the one to go for.
So I see Masejo, she just bought a sirloin cut in cubes. I'm like, what are you doing with that? Obviously, I'm not going to tell her, let her burn herself out. That's fine.
The Boerland surrounds of the estate made for a spectacular backdrop to this outdoor kitchen.
I really can't wait. Like, if anything else couldn't inspire me, this outdoors alone is just amazing.
This will be my first time cooking in such a spectacular venue. I mean, these views are breathtaking.
I'm sorting through all my ingredients and just double checking that everything is there. I'm ready for tomorrow. I know exactly what I'm going to do.
Throughout the day, I felt confident because I knew exactly what I had in mind. But after seeing what all the other contestants were buying, I thought, okay, why does my cart look so empty?
My basket is full of everything that I need, and I'm ready to cook up a storm.
I've got the biggest piece of lamb. I just can't make a mess out of it. So I'm pretty confident if I cook it well, if I do well with it, it will guarantee me a place at the top somehow.
Everyone's talking about their dishes and saying what they're going to be making, but I'm not hearing a lot about the ingredients, the farm ingredients. Brief, guys, brief.
Okay, so we have the fresh honey. I definitely want to incorporate this.
Yeah.
Quick question, how do we do this?
Great knife. Yeah, let's get it out. Seeing honey in its most natural form is so beautiful.
Chop the whole piece out.
Yeah, so each person gets their piece.
Okay.
I'm using honey in my rainbow trout to offset the flavors between sweet and savory.
Oh my God.
Oh, that looks good. That's what it tastes.
I've never actually handled
dive in.
honey like
How does it taste? Is it like different from shopwood honey?
It's totally delicious, gee.
It's not sugary and sweet just like the honey in the store. You can actually get every single flavor note from this honey.
So delicious and so unique, actually. I'm taking all of this, guys, so y'all can go.
Well, I'm happy with this.
All right.
I think the line between the foodies and the chefs was drawn a long time ago. I think the competition is strong between the two, even though we don't want to admit it. I think it is what it is.
So I guess it's game on.
Coming up, will the foodies score another win, or will the chefs even the score?
Make occasions more special. Start with a Stella.
Challenge day dawned and thoughts crystallized around creativity, taste, and presentation. While Judge Zarnecki kicked up his heels, the Groot Drakensberg mountain air had everyone firing on all cylinders.
Cooking outside, beautiful views, so inspirational.
So it's a new day. I couldn't sleep much. This gorgeous lamb is sticking in the back of my head. Well, she wants to get dressed, she wants to dance with me, and I'm happy. I'm searing this lamb. It's getting a beautiful golden brown color, almost like a andrew when I sit in the sun. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's giving me goosebumps. And the flavors are coming out. It's exactly what I want, and it's ready to go in the pizza oven.
I'm doing the 3 dishes because I wanted to showcase how versatile the honey actually can be. I'm making a bruschetta trio with nectarines, which are in season, and I'm also using prawns, which go very well with honey when you use the right herbs and spices. And with the pulled pork, definitely you need a bit of sweetness to make it memorable. So that's how I'm tying in the honey element.
I've just added my beautifully roasted red onions with fennel and Italian parsley. Those are the herbs that I got from the farm. I've infused a beautiful honey glazed sauce to go along with my sirloin bits that I got from the farm as well. The farm has really purely inspired this meal because it is incredibly hearty and homey, and that's what I'm all about.
A traditional cordon bleu would have the Emmental and ham. So what I'm doing is I'm using the honey-infused goat's cheese to make this, which is basically a twist on the original, which might work in my favor.
Wow, cordon bleu. Who hasn't seen that before? Who can't make that?
I'm gonna be smoking my fish today with a coffee bean. It's gonna give my fish a nice, subtle flavor. Not too heavy, but still delicious and edible. I wanted to incorporate smoke into my dish because when I saw the beekeeper holding the smoker and the honey, I thought it would pair very nicely to my dish. I chose trout because it fits into the sustainability and it's easy to find in this area of Cape Town. I'm very good at cooking fish and my grandmother taught me all the tips and tricks on how to keep it nice and juicy. I'm smoking my fish. All I smell is these coffee flavors and it smells delicious.
The judging panel will be checking on how that golden honey is being used, the sustainability and story of each dish.
I'm using this beautiful farm honey in different ways that I've never used before. I'm infusing the lamb, I'm infusing the vegetables, I'm infusing my butter. So absolutely gorgeous, and I'm privileged to be using such great honey.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Right, what sustainable dish are you making?
So I'm making lamb. I got lamb in the oven, but to complement the lamb, I've harvested a couple of things from the garden. So this is what I got. This is a side plate. I've made a butter, incorporating some honey into it. And obviously the lamb that's in the oven also has a little bit of honey through it. So it will all come together later on.
Roasted or braised?
So I braised it first and roasted.
And we're going to be able to taste the honey in all the components.
I hope so.
Okay, I hope so too.
Yes, you will.
Good luck.
Thank you.
I'm so excited to see the judges in the morning, especially Chef Zaneki.
How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
And we're good. Everything under control?
Everything under control. I'm just testing out something I want to do a little later to my dish.
Okay.
It's the first element, or one of the main elements, because I'm poaching an egg yolk in some honey liquid.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yes, to go with the rest of the dish. So if this turns out the way I'd like it to, then it's actually going to complement it really well. Normally, eggs are cooked with water and vinegar, but I'm making it a little sweeter. I hope it doesn't overpower.
And the egg whites, are you using them for anything?
Not in the challenge, but to celebrate my victory later by making a meringue.
Okay, and if you don't win?
I'll still celebrate.
Ah, okay. Okay, because sustainability also means no waste, so don't forget.
Very true.
Okay, good luck.
Thank you, chefs.
Charmaine, so you were the winner of the first challenge, so how are you handling the pressure going into this challenge?
Wow, the pressure is real, but I decided to make some of my favorite dishes. I'm doing a trio of canapes, and one includes pulled pork, which has been cooked for 10 hours overnight.
Okay, so is the honey in the pork?
Yes, the honey is in the pork, including some orange marmalade and some star anise.
Oh, can we have a
Let's go for it.
a preview?
Please do.
10-hour cooked pork, eh?
I feel like eating everything already. And the sweetness comes through.
Bit of smokiness there too.
Okay. Well, we'll leave you to it.
Yeah, a lot going on. I
it's a
want to
lot.
see how it's all going to play together, hey?
Okay.
Okay, good luck.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
These honey dips are a crucial part of my dish. It's gonna tie in all of my different components. I'm making Indian tapas, so I've got quite a few different elements that you can have with the dips. I am just a bit worried that maybe the judges may think it's a bit too much, but I don't know, let's see how it goes. Hopefully all my elements come together and the flavor works.
I'm seeing a lot of wonderful creations, and I don't know if my starter will measure up against the lamb or chicken dish, so we shall wait to see.
I've got all the elements of my dish ready. The only thing I need to do now is smoke my sole. The idea of smoking the fish was to actually try and enhance the flavors in the actual dish itself. The only thing I was a bit worried about is to ensure that it doesn't overpower the honey, obviously because the honey is the main ingredient. But also, when I smoke the fish, it should actually enhance it by making it a little bit salty, because then that salt and sweet will actually balance. And I've always tried to smoke other things, like perhaps, oh my gosh, I'm burning something. Something's burning. Things are going okay until I almost burn my beets. Finding it so hard to concentrate. didn't burn. I saved it. I'm gonna have to fix this.
The way I'm incorporating the key ingredient, honey, in my dish is in my prawn marinade as well as my chicken marinade. I don't normally put honey in my tikka marinade. I just thought it would be a good marriage of flavors. I just hope that it comes out well.
Sirloin is a very tricky beef to work with, so I have to be very careful with this one. It gets hard really fast. Like as soon as you cook it, you kind of have to eat it because it just keeps cooking the whole time. So the longer it stands, the harder and drier and tougher it gets. My dish is coming together. It's got a beautiful honey garlic glaze that I've teamed up with my sirloin bits. And now I've roasted some beautiful baby spring onions that I've roasted with some of the fennel and a couple of spices. I put on some oregano and that beautiful Italian parsley that I got. So this is all beautifully really working together. Just had a taste. It's just right. I'm ready to present.
So I just got this fresh farm honey and wasn't even going to add it to my beetroot and fig chutney. But after tasting it, I think it definitely will add that nice sweet flavor. Gosh, it really is amazing. I know that this is what I needed to bind all of my elements together. It's gonna be a nice mixture of sweet, spicy, acidity. Beautiful flavors. After the first challenge, you can see the caliber of cooking is getting high now. I mean, one of our best cooks left last week. So all I'm worried about is that, am I on that level as everybody else? Because all their dishes look amazing. I have to bring my A game.
So last challenge, I came in second place. This time around, I want to be number one. I want to do really well. I want to keep it consistent every single time, and I want to deliver. So I think the other contestants are looking at me. I'm feeling the pressure of that, but I want to reach the top. That's my goal.
As always, my biggest competition right now, that overachiever, Alex.
The mood in the kitchen is frantic. People are running around. There's just so much to consider and it's just crazy.
Finishing up my dish, I've kind of got all my ingredients together. I'm just kind of wondering whether the flavors are gonna go well together and create a good overall dish. But so far it looks good.
I feel like I'm running out of time. I don't know if I'm gonna get this dish completed in time. I need to get this done quickly.
I can't wait till the judges taste my food, but I'm nervous and excited at the same time.
In the competition, there are the chefs and then there are us foodies. Us foodies do not have any culinary skills. We are home cooks and we post our dishes on Instagram. That's what we bring to the table. Last week, a chef went home. This week, I'm hoping that the chefs realize that we are coming and we are in it to win it.
Next, Chef Gregory is taken back to his childhood. Chef Zola dishes some tough love, and Chef Christian delights in a surprise. If the first week's challenge was all about styling and look, this was the chance to put the taste in Tastemaster. And to our judges' delight, contestants made the boldest of choices.
Alex,
hello.
What have you made for us?
So today what I've done, I've taken the narrative that you've given us. I've done a harvest sort of mix over there with pine slips, carrots, tomatoes, charred onions. I've cooked lamb for 4 hours in a pizza oven, and I infused it with honey as well from the farm, together with some truffles.
It's a feast, huh?
It is a feast. That's what I wanted. If you're on a farm, that's how you should eat, so that's what I wanted to do.
Thank you, Alex. We're going to dig in.
Pleasure.
All right, so it smells amazing. Can I give you some lamb?
Thanks.
Chef Christian's passion for farm to fork, seasonal, ethical cooking had been taken to heart.
Beautifully tender. I mean, already just by looking at it, you can tell that it's going to be delicious, which is always the first step for me. And I can really taste the sweetness of the honey. So I think that he's really been creative in putting it through his entire spread.
It's sweet, but it's like well balanced. You know, it's just not overly sweet. You have like, you know, you can feel the flavor of the honey without being too overly sweet. You know, so it's quite nice.
The different dishes are relating to each other and tying up really nicely.
All right, judges. According to this week's criteria, I'm rating him, scoring this. You guys in agreement?
Yeah, I tend to agree. I think that he hit most of the points that we spoke about. So, yeah, I'm happy with that. Chef?
Yeah. The dishes are amazing, but the garnishes that he's used, he could have foraged from the garden and expressed that more. So I'd take a few points down.
There's a little lack of like finesse here and there that could have like, you know, really pushed him.
Yeah.
Right, so we're in agreement?
We are.
Okay, on to the next dish.
Standing in front of the judges is really intimidating because I don't know what to expect.
Masego, tell us what deliciousness you've got for us here.
I've got my heart on a plate. I basically had a beautiful time playing around with gorgeous vegetables and herbs that I've put together. And I've incorporated some sirloin bits, potatoes, and obviously incorporating our star, the honey. I made a beautiful honey and garlic glaze.
Masego, thank you.
Thank you very much.
It's like a nice farm, country style, you know, comfy food, you know?
Yeah, I mean, this looks like a great Sunday night, early dinner.
After meat, you know? Which cut did she choose?
Well, interesting. She chose sirloin. So it's one of those cuts that, you know, you usually quick fry. So I think that it's gone to a stage where it was tender and then it started drying out because it's quite a lean cut.
Yeah.
She had a great idea. She thought, let me make a bowl of comfort food.
Yeah.
And she definitely did that. It's just, you know, a few tweaks that she could have done. I mean, toasting the sesame seeds would have pronounced the flavor a little bit more. A different cut of beef would have been wonderful for this, you know?
But I mean, the saving grace of this dish is the sauce. It's outstanding.
The sauce is
really
outstanding.
yeah.
Today I have for you a rustic and farm Indian tapas, and hopefully all the flavors gel nicely.
I think it looks great and colourful. I'm ready to dig in.
Yeah, me too.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
It's crazy how you can be so confident in a dish, but as soon as you leave it at the judge's table, you can seriously start to doubt yourself.
These look so
Cooked properly, look at all the
crunchy
little bubbles and everything.
So there's nut and mint.
I'm gonna dip mine in the sweet
Yeah,
chili.
I think we're gonna dip like straight like that. So that's the Dijon mustard, huh?
Oh, that pickle is very spicy.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I just want to say the prawns and the salad go very well together.
Yeah, because the green also like mouths a bit the spiciness.
It brings that fresh and coolness through.
This is what she does, this is what she's good at, and I think she's showcasing it like nicely on those tapas.
For sure, agreed, but nobody wants their head blown off with chili. So I like a bit of spice, I like a bit of fragrance, but I don't want to be in pain.
Well, you need to have the fragrance without too much of the heat.
That's it.
I think the pickle could have done with a little bit of honey as well.
Absolutely.
Considering it was the theme and
It is
the
very
hero of the
acidic,
day.
right? This is what I would give it.
I'm with you on that one. I was just, yesterday the team was in the garden. It was just full of flowers, and particularly with this sort of style of food, there was some beautiful flowering coriander. Coriander flowers picked through here, I think would have been really great.
For me, it's just such a vibrant and colourful dish, and so is she. And she didn't really sell it to me. She didn't tell me the story or the love behind tikka masala, or did she learn to make any of this from her family members? I think that when you're going to be a taste master on television, you have to romance people with the story. I've got to fall in love with it before I even taste it. And I think that she kind of missed that opportunity.
Hi, judges.
Hello.
Hi. So you went with a very classical dish.
I went classic, but also played around with flavors and textures, so that everything also works together.
You know, the cordon bleu was my favorite dish as a kid.
Oh.
Knowing that it's his favorite dish, obviously I'm nervous. If this guy doesn't like this, I might go home. Hope you guys enjoy. Thank you, chefs.
Thank you. How do you feel about your homeland's contemporary dish being reworked?
Well, I hope it matches my expectation, you know? As a kid, I had so many of those, so...
Hopefully it was happy times.
So everything from the dish is from the farm?
Yeah.
I like that. Ticks the sustainability boxes, hey?
Yeah. It's sweet, but it's not too sweet again, you know? It's quite subtle, like with the Dijon mustard again. Brings everything together.
I really like what I'm tasting.
Well, there's a little bit of a kick somewhere, hey? I got a little bit of...
That's in the beetroot.
Oh, it's
That's
lovely.
It's nice, you know, like that warmth without like being too spicy.
Chef, I love what you said about him taking a classic dish and putting his own contemporary spin on it. The addition of goat's cheese, I think, is inspired. And that's such a great pairing with the honey. I think it was very clever.
And it works, you know, it's like simple but yet elegant.
And I must say, everything's so balanced. Everything ties together really beautifully. And I love the flowers, the bees and flowers. It really comes through in the dish.
Oh, I love that.
Before you, I present my take on a tabbouleh salad made with honey poached egg yolks, which we got from the coop, as well as my specially made bulgur wheat, which I actually made with some honey syrup from the honey we got.
Alrighty.
So did you poach them in honey, like a honey stock?
In a honey syrup of water and honey.
Oh, great.
Quite keen to give it a try.
Thank you, Chef.
Thank you.
So I see a lot of ingredient from the garden.
Oh, the yolk brings a good flavour.
Creaminess. But because it's an interpretation of tabbouleh, I wanted, more herbs, because tabbouleh is usually full of parsley and full of vibrant herb
A bit
flavour.
of black mint also, like to spice it up. All that aside, it's a very good dish. It's fresh, it's seasonal, you have the ingredients. It's still like very moist, and there's some little techniques that she put in to elevate the dish. So it's original.
The egg yolk, I think, was really original.
Yeah, it is, like you wouldn't expect it to work. I mean, I've never seen like, a couscous salad or a tabbouleh like served with yolks, but it's done in a way that it brings like creaminess and a texture to it, and it bonds all the ingredients together.
I mean, it marries so well with this dressing.
Listen, anyone who can shock this man and show him something he's never seen before, it's good stuff. Let's score it.
When the beekeeper was telling me about how he smokes the bees out, I got the inspiration from that, and I smoked my fish and I put the honey in the remoulade sauce so I can incorporate that smoking of the bees out from the nest and everything, and just the story behind it.
Thank you very much. Thanks. We're going to taste like that.
Thanks, McDonald.
Thank you.
I love the idea of the smoking.
Yeah, the smoking, especially like
to
with
the bees.
And also like with coffee, it's like so unusual, like.
There's a crust on there that he didn't mention, which is...
That's going to bring a bit of like texture.
He's definitely made a statement with the carrot tops. Yeah.
Do you know, on site the fish look dry, but it's not. It's actually really, it's got great moisture.
Remoulade sauce is delicious.
You can taste it's like smoky, but not enough to like know where the smokiness was added.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for the remoulade, he would be in trouble.
This is my garden of forage delights, and it is a trio of canapes inspired by the landscape at the Boschendal Estate, and the honey is in each and every one of the canapes.
Well, Christian, colourful enough for you?
I mean, the presentation's fantastic.
Okay, well, let's let Charmaine go so we can taste. Thank you, Charmaine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think it's colourful. She speaks of honey, there's flowers, there's reflection of garden, there's the carrots, the radishes.
And she had it like some, honey.
Yeah, there's a little bit of honeycomb pieces.
And I love the fact that she made a garden.
And it's light summer eating or light spring eating.
So pretty. Summer in your hand. Love it. This is delicious, but I think the blue cheese overpowers the honey.
The gorgonzola, yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe an extra drizzle would have been really nice.
Yeah. Also the bread for me is a bit thick, It will be a bit like more elegant, so it's just like a bit thinner.
I like the pork. Very nice.
The pork is lovely. Great aromatic flavour. You getting enough honey throughout the dish, Christian?
I think it's a bit hidden for me.
On the pork, that's like the one that comes out pretty like the most with the with the spices, but.
I mean, there's a tiny bit of visual honeycomb there, but I don't really get it through on the dish.
What do you think?
I'd take it down a notch.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Better?
Wow.
Okay, when we say go down, we didn't say back down. All right.
Excuse me, my bad.
Upper half.
There.
Yay,
Perfect.
yeah,
Okay.
fantastic. I'm happy.
Right, I think we've got a few decisions to make to figure out who's the top, who's the bottom. Should we go deliberate?
Absolutely.
We should. Zola, we're gonna need the book.
Who's your favorite contestant? Let us know on #TheTasteMasterSA.
Make occasions more special. Start with a Stella.
The Tastemaster must stand or fall on the choices they make. It was time to call hits and misses, and for someone, it was the end of the road. Judges, how do you feel the contestants did this challenge?
Well, they came in yesterday with great enthusiasm, great excitement. They were running around the garden looking for what they could use, so great energy. Today there was a different tone. They had to deliver some surprises, I think, some great creativity coming through, a few disappointments, but yeah, on the whole, what a great day.
Yeah, overall it was a great performance. You know, we saw them getting out of their comfort zone and trying new things. You know, did like takes on like classical like dishes, but putting their twist on. So it was really good. I think they did well.
Yeah, I agree. I echo their sentiments. I think that it was a really high caliber of dishes. Yeah, some great stories that we got to learn. Some didn't carry through the narrative, but you know, this is how we determine who the top is and who the bottom is. So, yeah.
It's always quite sad, you know, knowing that someone is going home after, you know, all the time that we spent together. We know it's a competition. We know people are going to leave, but there's just that closeness that we've built.
Contestants, welcome to the Tastemaster table. Judges, over to you.
You had your brief, you had your narrative that you needed to follow. I think some of you really embraced and expressed it well visually. Some of you did it really well from a taste or sensory point of view. I think there were some little challenges in terms of textures of certain of the dishes, but all in all, I think a really great effort and a lot of enthusiasm and a lot of effort and creativity went into what was presented today.
I agree. Overall, it was a great performance. You guys really understood the briefing that was made about sustainability, and you know, and tried to apply the same as like what Boschendal Estate does, which is like, you know, farm to fork and plate dishes. You guys harvested your own ingredients. Some people really pushed the sustainability to the maximum. And you know, some others obviously fell a bit there, but overall, you know, it was very tasty, and you know, it was a great performance.
And one thing's for sure, you can all cook, but going forward, remember, we're looking for a Tastemaster to be on a TV show. So presenting a story behind your dish is always, always front of mind. So sell it to us. Tell us why you made it. Tell us what your inspiration was. We need to fall in love with the dish before we even try it.
Judges, it's decision time. We will now find out who's in the top two and who is in the bottom two.
After much deliberation, on the top two, Alex and MTRs.
The top two is revealed. Alex's name gets called out, and guess who else? Not Nikora, me.
Top two for the second time in a row. Wow, this is time to take it. I'm feeling it, my body's going numb, shaking, and I'm secretly hoping the confetti cannon comes out.
And now for some feedback. You knew what the narrative was, and I feel that you really, really expressed it well. The honey components came through really well. There was a sense of garden, a sense of place, a sense of farm to table, and I think that was really expressed in two very different ways. There can only be one winner, but both dishes were exceptional in the context of what was laid out to you yesterday in the challenge. Well done.
Thank you, Chef.
Right, so I have the unfortunate task of naming the bottom two. First on the bottom is Nikara.
I'm kind of just a little bit demotivated, but at the same time, I'm just hoping that it's not me going home today.
Unfortunately, we felt that your dish was just too spicy. Every single element had chili, so it kind of numbed our taste buds, so we couldn't taste everything individually. Yeah, so we love a bit of spice, but just tone it back a little bit. Not everyone's palate can handle too much spice. The next person on the bottom today is Masejo.
I hear my name. So difficult to process right now. All I'm thinking is Nikara's dish, my dish, Nikara's dish, my dish. Oh, I don't want to go home right now.
Unfortunately, we felt that you chose the wrong cut of meat. Sirloin is a quick cooking piece of meat. So what had happened is you cooked it for so long that it sort of went soft and then it dried out again. So unfortunately, that didn't work in your favor, but your sauce was absolutely delicious. Really, really tasty.
We all agreed also on that. You know, the sauce was amazing, just the wrong cut of black meat, and also your dish wasn't very seasonal. You know, it was a very winter, comfy dish, which was like great, but unfortunately, that cut of meat was just a no-go.
The waiters will now bring each and every single one of you a dish that will reveal who has won this week's challenge. And if there is no food on your plate, that means your Taste Master journey ends today. Waiters, please reveal the dish. Reveal the dish.
They lift the lid and lo and behold, winner, winner, chicken dinner.
It's not my dish twice in a row. I got the best average, but I'm not winning. Let's see what happens.
Nothing's on my plate. I'm trying very hard to not let this deter me in any way. But in this very moment, it's just so horrible.
Masego, we're very sorry to see you go, but like we said, your sauce was absolutely delicious. It's just unfortunate that you chose the wrong cut, and also there was no colour in your plate. All the rest were colourful and very representative of the garden that you foraged from. But thank you so much for cooking for us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, and keep on cooking. You know, you're doing amazing.
Masego, how has your journey been?
My journey has been fantastic. I've learned so much. From just being a home cook, from my kitchen, I'm leaving this place with so much more than I could have ever expected. Thank you very much.
I'm sure the judges and the contestants can agree that it was lovely having you here, but unfortunately, your Taste Master journey ends here.
Thank you
Please
very much.
hang up your apron.
My time here has been amazing. I have learned so much. I can't believe the amount of influences I've gotten from every single person that I met here. This is a bittersweet moment. I can only hope to take what I've learned from here and do better and do more.
Right, guys, time to celebrate. MTRs, here is your winner's chalice. Congratulations once again.
Thank you so much, Chef. Chef.
Pleasure. Okay. Let's leave the moment now and bring on some Stella.
Yeah. What a beautiful way to end the day. Having some food, sharing some moments, sharing some memories, drinking some beer. Absolutely gorgeous.
I love this harvest table. Perfect for a farm setting, right, Chef?
Absolutely. I think the most important thing as chefs is to know where your food comes from and take responsibility for that. At the end of the day, you want to be serving food that's sustainable, and in fact, you need to aim for regenerative. So you need to source your food from a farm that is regenerative in practice.
Thank you, Chef.
Thank you, Chef.
Can we please have a round of applause for our guest judge and Taste Master mentor? Cheers. Fancy a trip for two to Belgium with Stella Artois? Show us how you are watching The Taste Master by uploading a picture or video on Twitter using hashtag #StartWithAStella, and you could be gifted a trip for two to Belgium. Entries close the 17th of December this year. For further T's and C's on the competition, visit thetastemaster.co.za.
Another feel-good production.